Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Black Tower podcast. This definitely isn't take two of the intro. We are a Wheel of Time podcast that obviously get everything right first time around. That's our MO. Everybody knows we do that.
First take, Tony.
Yeah. I am one of your hosts. I am Andrew, your Bajan Mahal.
And I am Josh, your Tsorovan Mahal.
And I am Daniel, the made-up Mahal, the Amin Khan Mahal.
No, you're the fourth age Mahal, not the made-up Mahal. God.
No, I'm the made-up Mahal.
Fine, B, you're the made-up Mahal.
The
I
makeup
want to
Mahal?
be the made-up Mahal. Don't tell me what to do. You can't tell me what to do, Dad.
But guys, we've got a great episode. Super excited for it. We got some great people that I would say that you're going to meet, but if you listen to us, I guarantee you listen to them or know who they are at the very minimum. And if you don't, shame on you, shame on your family, shame on your cow.
Dishonor! Dishonor on you!
Dishonor.
So, but before we get into that, as always, we have some people to thank. So, first off, we do have a new patron to thank. Not think, thank.
Thank, that's
It's supposed to
right.
be more than just one letter different. That's kind of fucked up. But anyway, so Travis W., welcome to the ranks of the dedicated. Welcome to the Black Tower.
Welcome to the tower.
Thank you so
We
much
got
for your
fun and
support.
games.
And we'll see
got
if you need a
lots of
glass of
tanks.
wine or not. But thank you so much for joining and supporting us here at what we do. It's been a long day. Fucking English.exe
It has been a
has
long
encountered
day.
a fatal error.
Travis W., you're a badass. We love you, and we're
Yeah.
grateful to have you on the rolls of the Black Tower. And Travis,
Is that a fat joke?
If you're looking,
Maybe.
I mean, it might be.
I mean, that's
you're
fair. That's
Or
fair, I
crystals or rocks or shiny things to help ease your torment, ease the taint in your daily life, well, then you know where to go, crystalbarista.com or facebook.com/rockpick. That is the Crystal Barista. She's got subscription boxes. She's got field trips. And if you live in the Utah area, she's got a live rock show that's going to be happening that you should probably check out on February 27th.
Wait, the rocks are alive?
I was gonna
The
say, I've
rocks-
never seen a live
I don't
rock.
think
Are alive.
rocks
Did you ever
anymore.
see Frozen?
Do they fight? Do you watch rocks fight each
Rocks
other?
are alive.
I mean, you can
Rock
do
fighting
whatever you
was
want
made
with these
illegal
rocks.
in 1993.
That's why they're so great.
In
So
the
If you love them-
underground.
For their healing properties, if you love them because they're shiny, or if you love them because you're a chemistry nerd and you like to study their chemical structures, we've got everything you could ever want at the Crystal Barista. Come on down. And when you're done surfing the Crystal Barista and you decide you want to come back home to the Black Tower and you need something in your life, something to fill that tainty hole in your life, go to the blacktowerpod.com. Blacktowerpod.com is everything you need for everything Black Tower related. You want to join our Discord? There's a link there. You want to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram? There are links there. You need some merch in your life? We got you, fam. Come to the blacktowerpod.com because it's awesome.
BlackTowerPod.com, your one-stop shop for everything Black Tower Podcast. Come on.
It's almost like it's in the name. But
All
before
right.
we can introduce our guests, Daniel, there's something we need to do. And
Indeed.
we like to rotate who has to roll this on because sharing is caring. But
Indeed.
it's your turn.
All right, guys. Now is the time for everyone's favorite spoiler condom. It's time to go ahead and put on some protection because we all know that there are some people who have not made it down quite as many inches in the Wheel of Time book series as others of us. There are some of us who are a solid 15 inches in. Then there are some of us who are only a few inches in. So today, we're not actually going all the way down.
We're not
We're
going
actually
all in.
only going down 4 full inches. That means if you have read book 1, 2, 3, and 4, you are all set. We are actually going to talk about nothing that passes the end of book 4. Because we technically given that one of our people here today is partway through book 5. We could try that, but given our track record, we're just going to stop at 4.
We'll just cut it at 4.
Just end of book 4. So if you have read anything 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you have not gotten any further than that, great. Stick around, listen. You are not going to get spoiled on anything. If you've read a couple books further than that, great. Still stick around. If you've only gotten through book 1, like I know a lot of people have, you are at risk of being spoiled a little bit. So stay at your own risk. There may be things that we talk. There are going to be things that we talk about that are past book 1.
That's a pretty safe
but
thing.
again, not past book 4. Once you hit the end of book 4, you are safe.
But for our guests today, they're epic. They're awesome. If you don't know them, you definitely should. You need to go and correct yourself. It is the two who take all wheels. It is the Wheel Takes podcast. Please, Ali and Gus, introduce yourselves.
Hey.
Thank
Thanks
you so
for
much
having
us.
us. Yeah. Oh, we didn't do that on purpose,
Boom.
but we do that sometimes. Hey, yeah.
How
Well,
does it
thanks.
feel having somebody finish your
Sandwiches.
There it is.
Sausages.
You
Tasty.
ate my sandwich?
I
You ate
tried
my
to.
sandwich?
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for having us, guys. We're Wheel Takes podcast. If you haven't heard of us, we're a podcast talk about the Wheel of Time. Predictably enough, considering where we are and who we're with today. Ali, it's you. Hi.
It's me. Hi.
She's read
That's who I
4
am.
books. I've read the whole thing. We talk about what she's reading as she's reading it.
And we're trying to get married this year, maybe.
Hopefully,
we'll
yeah.
figure it out.
We were supposed to get married last year,
Yeah.
but didn't. That you can
Nice.
understand why.
Well, I
We had
mean,
to push
yeah.
back the ceremony.
What? Did
Things-
something happen
Something
in
happened.
2020?
Something
there was
happened
like a
in 2020?
panorama or
I had
a
a cold.
panini.
I had a cold,
Yes.
so you know.
Well, if you need somebody to recreate the whole fat guy in little coat thing, just let me know. I got you covered.
Always.
Yeah.
If
I
you'd
know
like
a guy. I see him every morning.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
Sounds like your
are
mouth is
able-
writing checks your body can't cash, Andrew.
just so you know, Ashaman are able to officiate ceremonies. So
That's
That
a
is
cool
true.
word.
Officiate?
Yeah.
You want to fight our dads for the honor?
yeah, maybe. I mean,
I think you can take off.
can they channel?
No.
Okay.
All right. Well, then.
Decidedly
I think we're
no.
good.
Before we fight, do me a favor real quick. Focus on this flame for just a moment.
Yeah, we're just focus on the flame.
Oh, it didn't change? All right, we're good. Let's do this.
Okay, we're good.
Ali has no idea what's happening.
I
right
don't
now,
know
but
what's happening.
he
That's
loves it.
okay. We are. I feel like we're actually doing a good job of.
We're dancing
being-
around it. We're tap
It's
dancing
perfect.
around it.
It's
Also, I mean, to be fair, and Ali, again, to be fair, this is not actually giving
To be
anything away.
fair.
Our name and the existence of our podcast is already kind of something that you wouldn't know yet.
Yeah.
So I feel like us just talking about ourselves
I think
is
it's
not
perfect.
fair in the spoiler.
And what I just said is in no way a spoiler because it's from our fanfic. So
Oh.
it's so far beyond what you haven't read that it can't spoil what you haven't read.
You know, my memory is so crap. Even if you did spoil something, I
It's
wouldn't
true.
remember.
People have given her full out spoilers on Discord calls like this, and 2 minutes later, they're
I don't
gone.
remember.
They
That
floated
is a
away.
blessing.
I
It's
drink
For
to
this, it's a
forget.
blessing.
Yeah, it's like finding Dory up here. I don't know what the hell's going on.
But yeah, we're really excited to be here. We're really grateful for your working around our insane schedule. We're in the middle of moving right now.
Dude,
So,
Happy
uh,
to have you.
It is an honor to join you all today.
Speaking of, out of curiosity, and to pad the episode, I mean, we would never do that. Are you guys moving far away from where you are now, or is it?
We are
Very.
moving 2,400 miles away from where we are now,
Wow!
and
All
and
right
we are
then.
driving it on Friday.
Mhm.
Yes,
And
that's the way
we
to
are
do it.
Road trip.
Yeah.
Road
So-
tripping it in
so
two
again,
different cars.
in 2 different cars.
Oh, that's. Do you guys have walkie-talkies? You need.
Yes.
walkie-talkies.
Wait, we totally
They came yesterday. They're charging
Yes.
downstairs
I'm
right
so
now.
excited.
It's gonna be great.
That's fantastic.
Do you have?
You've got to
Trucker
pull
handles.
over. Pull what
Yes.
over?
You have trucker handles.
Oh no, we gotta make handles.
You need trucker
Oh.
handles.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yes, you
You're
will
so
need
right.
handles.
I
Can it
really
be
now
watt
just want to
related?
see pictures
They
of you guys going down the road
have to
holding
be
the
watt
handle
related.
from like an 18-wheeler truck.
They definitely must be Watt related. If they're not, I'll be severely disappointed.
They have to be, right? We'll
So-
we'll take suggestions in the
For
discussion.
everyone listening, make
Great.
sure you follow the Wheel Takes on Twitter, and they'll post, I don't know, maybe a poll
Yeah,
we love
can
a good
post
poll.
or something
We
like
love a
that.
good
Polls are
poll.
great.
This
So
part right
they'll
here is
post a
for the
poll on
live
their Twitter.
listening
Make sure you go and
Patreons.
follow them so that they can. Oh
That's
yeah,
true.
this is.
Yeah. By the time this comes out, I would imagine you guys have finished your journey, unless it's going to take over a week.
Probably.
Okay.
Follow us on Twitter to find out the results of the poll.
See what we named.
There you go. Perfect. Love it.
What
Anyway,
were their
sorry.
handles, ladies?
What
and
were
gentlemen?
they?
More
And
shoddy
did
as
they
snakes and
make it
foxes.
okay?
More
Yeah,
shoddy
are
as
they
snakes and
still alive?
foxes. Make sure you give them a suggestion.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Oh yes.
And Gus
please.
is helping
So-
shield Ali's eyes from any accidents in the
Yes.
live recording Discord.
Yeah.
So if it happens,
on-
as soon as you realize it, delete it, or we will.
It's good. You're on our second
It's on a
screen.
different monitor, so I'm just not looking, and Gus can tell me
Perfect.
what is said.
I mean,
If
the worst that may
anything is
happen.
relevant.
The worst that may happen is Gus may tackle Ali out of her seat, and that may delay the trip by a couple days for a hospital visit. You know, worst
Yeah,
case scenario.
That's fine.
No, I come from a walk it
don't
off family. I
speak
would be
that
like,
into
I'm fine.
One
The
of
R's been
Nerd
an
out.
opposite angle. Just walk it off.
I know how to do some first aid. It's funny because
There we go.
our Discord, I forgot to mute the spoiler chat, and someone just messaged me a fatty spoiler. So I'm just gonna mute that real
Okay,
quick.
and I
That
also
sounds
just want praise.
We didn't do it first.
I want praise because I walked up to your computer and saw that the spoiler chat was open and switched to general without reading anything. And I just want everyone to appreciate me right now. Thank you.
Sometimes the
when-
worst decisions require the strongest wills.
That's like when Amazon drops a package off and you know it's for you, but you know it's a gift from someone else and you don't open it.
right?
Mhm.
It's like a toddler with the marshmallow challenge.
Oh,
and I
that's
just
exactly.
passed.
You did pass it.
I did pass it.
I'm very proud.
You're
of
so
you.
I think
proud
that
of
means I'm
you.
smart, right? Like, isn't that
Yes.
that's supposed to mean?
At
That's
the
exactly
very
what that means.
least, you have object permanence.
I
which you-
believe I believe that is something to that effect. It's something about my self-control, which I didn't
Yes,
realize
your
until today I had
ego.
any. But
your super
today I learned.
ego
You're
is
invested,
bigger
though.
than your id.
You're invested.
very-
now, though.
It's
So-
wild how how fast I got invested in the series. I mean,
Right? It's
we
fun, man.
started the
Is-
first
is it?
book, and
Well, are you a fantasy
Is
person? Ali?
it?
She's really not a fantasy person.
no, I mean,
Nice.
Oh, okay. Well, that
Legolas
does
was my
make it
sexual
more
awakening, and then
intense.
beyond that, there was nothing. So
Gus, we'll
Fair
talk
enough.
about that one later.
Yeah, indeed.
he's
Yeah, I'm
trying
on.
to grow
Yeah,
out
yeah.
those long flowing
It's
locks
it's
and
the nice
corners.
thing about COVID. I haven't had a haircut since August. So
On our BTP after hours.
After
to
dark.
BTP
After Dark podcast.
get all the
Yeah,
deeds.
when COVID hit, I was on the no haircut, no shave train for a long time.
That's right.
And then I was on a game show with a caveman beard. And I was definitely like, this can't happen anymore. I'm
Will
open.
not
What made you
stand.
And that's where
what
when I
made you
took
shave
all
your
of the-
beard?
the-
Oh, just national television.
yeah.
What game show?
What? Yeah,
I
I
was
need
the
to know.
weakest link.
Oh, dude.
What?
Which
And he
ironically is
won.
funny because you weren't the weakest link.
I was not.
I
As
love that
far as
show.
people voted.
It's super fun.
sounds like
so.
fun.
If you haven't seen the episode, I will not spoil it for you. The one that I'm on is episode 10 of season 1 that NBC has
All right.
because they just bought the rights
Right,
to
they
do it.
reboot it.
Yeah,
right?
and it's called "Whose Cereal Is All Luck and No Charm."
That's
so
clever.
there you
Go
go.
and watch it, and all you need to remember for the entire episode is
Shut up!
Finger guns?
Ain't
Did you
so
finger
much.
guns on the
It
What
may
weakest
the-
link?
no,
or may not
this is
have
like the
finger
one
guns
time
on
in
national
non-scripted TV.
television.
It's like the one time in non-scripted TV that finger guns ever had an actual positive effect.
Oh, I can't wait. I know what I'm doing
There's-
tonight.
There's a
Very
direct
invested.
correlation.
I know what I'm doing tonight. This is great.
Very invested. in
All
this
right,
now.
but anyway,
Now that Daniel's like, let's change the subject. Change the subject. Hey guys, aren't we here to talk about a book or something?
No,
Yeah, I've read a book.
never heard of her.
I think I've
Booker, I barely
rather-
know her.
I barely know it.
I've read books with characters in. Sometimes they have more than one.
So speaking of
Have
characters,
you
like
ever
the
read
ones
a
with
book
pictures.
that has like 18,000 of them? Because I feel like
All
this
starting
one
with the letter
has
S
Couple.
all starting with the letter.
or L.
She's 4 books in. She already picked up on that.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
there,
it's
it's
I
great.
thought he hit it better, but there you go.
No.
Speaking of, we are actually talking about a character from the series today that's not starting with S.
No.
Or
Thank
L.
God.
So
Unless you
we're
count
doing good.
super lucky.
So
That's
I want
true.
everybody listening to
I see
take
what you did.
themselves back to when they first started reading.
Yes.
Take yourselves back to book
Like,
one.
Close
First
your
started
eyes.
reading
Picked
anything,
it up.
period. Like learning A, B, C, D.
Yes.
Yes.
Not that far back, Andrew.
Oh,
The taint.
You
You're
can't.
taken with
You're
the
a bad
taint.
hypnotist.
At right about the time you started reading. In
Go
which
back
case,
to-
good for you.
Go back to the Eye of the World and reading the Eye of the World. And I want you to put yourself. No, if you were a teenager when you were reading it, cool. Go back to your teenager mind. If you were an adult when you were
Please
reading it,
don't do
cool. Go back to your adult mind. And I want you to think about all the characters. Okay. Let them into your mind. Let them into your soul. Now, Allie, your experience, you're about 4 books in.
Mm-hmm.
There's a particular character, and I will let you introduce that character that you want to kind of discuss their journey.
Yes.
And so go ahead and just kind of lay that on us. And everybody, as you listen, put yourself in that childlike wonder.
Okay.
You're
Just
reading the books
finished
for the
reading
first
The
time.
Shadow Rising. It's Christmas morning.
It's Christmas morning.
No, no, I'm just kidding.
We did
Okay,
finish
go.
just after Christmas, actually.
Finished
Right?
before, yeah.
Even better.
All right. Go
All
ahead.
right. So we're going to talk today about a certain Matrim Cauthon. And I like to call him Matthew when I'm disappointed in him, which is often.
Listen here, Matthew.
Listen, Matthew.
I can even
Stop
hear your
fucking
mom's
around.
voice.
Is
This is
pretty
great.
much what happens.
We need
on
a
our
middle
podcast.
name for him so that we can just, for when
Oh.
you're really, really just.
I gave him the
Yeah, isn't it?
I gave him the basic white girl, I believe Renee.
Yeah, it was Renee. Matthew Renee
Ooh.
Cauthon.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Matthew Renee Cauthon.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yes.
I'm anytime that
So
I'm
mote
frustrated-
it be.
mhm.
Matthew Renee Cauthon. How dare you?
And if you need to just do it fast as a mom, Matthew Renee, please.
Yes.
Enough.
Matthew Renee.
Mhm.
It's like
I actually
like-
just for a moment legitimately felt like I was in trouble, even though that's not my name.
Yeah.
It's like when you're at your friend's
He's
house
good
and they're
at
getting
that.
scolded by their mom.
I used to be a teacher, so I've got
It's
this.
a practice voice.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
shit,
got
I
the
got
scary
enough.
eyes too.
So I would ask you to do it more, but I don't want to go into,
You
terrified.
don't want the flashbacks.
I'm
Yeah.
already in my child mind from reading
Yeah.
these books.
Not as
I don't
young as I
wanna get
once
yelled
was,
at.
and those flashbacks might cause leaky taint, so let's not do that.
Good God.
Perfect. Well, okay. So when we started the books, I thought, having watched The Lord of the Rings, but not being much of a fantasy person, I went, okay, here's our Pippin, right? Here's our lovable idiot.
Oh, okay. I get
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, because the first thing he does is he's like, I'm gonna scare some girls with a badger. And I'm like, okay. So
Also,
he's,
I
No,
dumped.
No, the big one. The big
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
so he's the
Also,
local
I dumped,
dumbass.
I've dumped flour on a dog. You
Mhm.
guys, can you believe it? Isn't that a great prank?
So he's the local dumbass, is what I thought. I went, okay,
Do you
village
call him that for
idiot,
the whole first book? The dumbass.
the dumbass.
Yeah.
That was
The
his name.
dumbass.
I
And
mean,
actually, I credit Matthew because he's the whole reason we started a podcast, because he did something in book one I thought was so epically stupid that it made me angry, and I ranted for about a half an hour
She did.
about how stupid I thought this boy was.
and about 3.5 minutes into the rant, Gus just kind of like reached over and hit record on his phone. And I was
when
like,
I-
no, keep going.
Guess what?
You
I
say it
really think
louder
we have a
into the plate.
podcast here. And so that it is really the reason we started a podcast. I said, okay, we need to finish book one so that I know I'm invested, because I don't want to disappoint people by going, this 15 book series isn't for me. Now I'm very invested, and go on frequent rants about my feelings
Like a
about their
Redditor at
bullshittery.
GameStop.
Mhm.
Ah.
Mhm.
Oh,
I'm
that's
sure
sad
there are
'cause they're
more
stock
incoming.
takes.
Whoosh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm
it came
excited
back
already.
from the moon.
This is wonderful.
Oh, I'm so.
I'm
I'm so
excited
glad.
already. I can't
Okay.
wait. This is gonna be great.
I'm
So we
loving every
lights
minute
up
of it.
on Matrim Cauthon being a fucking idiot already. Our expectations are low, which serves us
So
for the rest
anytime
of
he
the book.
ties his own shoes, you're like,
It's a
"Good job,
miracle."
Doc."
My expectations were low, but damn.
My expectations were on the floor, and then they went into my neighbor's apartment downstairs.
Local
So-
woman who thought she had no hope left realizes that she had more hope that she somehow lost.
Like a little bit left, and then it went to negative 1,000. So we leave the 2 ribs. Everything's fine. He does nothing of consequence for a hot minute. Then we get to fucking Shadar Logoth. Now, riddle me this, friends. Yeah, we grew up in the time of stranger danger, yes, like all of us.
Yes.
We know about that.
So a man comes to you who can't get out of the shadows, and his name is More Death. Do we follow him? Do we
Not
follow
less
him?
death.
More death.
But
That's
he
an
promised us shiny
advertisement.
things.
See, Ali, I very much appreciate your point. I do. You're absolutely right. All of us did grow up in the stranger danger era, but there were some of us who, when we were younger, were told that people would offer us drugs. And then we were told
And
that
they
drugs were
lied.
expensive.
Never
I was
once-
never
And so when
offered
people
drugs
show up
ever.
and they say we have drugs, you say, "Great, thank
Yeah.
you so much, kind man. You just are gonna give me something that's expensive? Like,
Free?
of course I'm going."
So I mean,
Never once.
Go ahead.
No, I agree. I never actually got offered drugs, but to be
To
fair,
defend Matt.
to be fair,
To
he
defend-
does get offered things that are expensive.
He
To
did.
defend
Yes.
Matt. We all
Continue.
know, growing up in hillbilly land of 2 Rivers, as a fellow grew up as a redneck myself, we can be persuaded with beer, money, and anything that is shiny. And to be and there was 2 of those. It was
Okay.
money and it was shiny.
I didn't realize that growing up in Bumblefuck meant that you lost all self-preservation.
Yep.
But apparently,
Have you? Do you not know where the phrase "hold my beer" comes from? A complete and utter disregard for all
Oh my
self-preservation.
I think
Okay, so I just want to introduce you to a thing. It's called Florida Man.
I grew up in a city where if you didn't like learn fast, you died. So
Yep.
it was
And
like,
you're still with us,
I
so
mean-
you learned
Well,
fast.
I grew up where if you didn't learn fast, you fucking try it again. Yee
exactly.
yee, motherfucker.
different childhoods.
So one of the things is, and we
Slightly
did do an
different.
episode about Shadar Logoth and Matt specifically picking up the dagger. And
Like a dumbass.
well,
I'll
we
get
kind of
there.
got
Sorry. Picking up the dagger wasn't dumbass. Not putting it the fuck down
Back,
was the
yeah.
Yes.
To
dumbass.
be fair, he
And
was
that's
only
the thing.
told 6 times.
To be
so.
fair.
Yeah. and we kind of defended him a little bit
We did.
on
How?
the grabbing of the
Deservedly.
dagger because he's like big scary man, balloon man.
Oh,
look,
okay.
Well,
dagger.
and again,
Aha!
Well,
But-
and again, in that scene, remember, one of the reasons that we defended Matt is that the other 2 people there both have weapons they bring
That's
with
true.
them.
He has a
Matt
bow at the time, right?
He's almost exclusively
Yes.
a bow wielder at that point in the books. He has not gotten his cool ass weapons and shit. He
Yeah.
is a bow wielder.
Yeah.
And therefore, when he leaves his
Ranged
bow with
fighter.
the rest of them, he
Stupid
doesn't
decision.
have anything to defend himself with in that room. And so he goes, scary, sharp. Okay, cool, great.
Aha!
But
Ah,
again,
a hero's
he's
only as
not
good as his
putting
weapon.
it
There's
down
3 S's.
and not telling Moraine and then not doing any of that's the stupid. And I agree with you that it's so stupid.
Okay, 4 S's. 4. Scary, sharp, shiny, stupid.
Mhm.
Yes, all accurate.
Yes. And here's the other thing that I'll say. I think I was particularly triggered by Matt for a few reasons. One, because it kind of reminds me of someone in my drama class who would just get up and start talking about balls, and there was nothing I could do.
This was a 10-year-old, right?
I think he was 11.
11-year-old.
He did a whole scene about balls, trying to be subtle, about Dick's sporting goods and how Dick loves a lot of balls and his favorite meal is mushrooms. And I'm sitting there just watching it happen. And so those boys remind me of Matrim Cauthon. And
that is probably a pretty accurate descriptor of Matt, though. Like, I could see him if he were alive today in an elementary school, and you said, "I would like you to deliver a soliloquy," he'd be like, "Dicks and balls,
Dicks and balls."
It gets the mushroom stamp of approval.
Badgers,
balls and badgers.
So I think that was a traumatic moment for me. And the other one is that he doesn't trust Moraine, period, even though she saves their lives multiple times at this point. You know, she turns into a giant lady and saves their ass like 8,000 times. I guess we don't like women. Fine. We don't like magic women. That's fine. But we're going to follow a guy named More-Death into a dark room.
He's confused about
even
that,
he
man.
seems confused.
Y'all remember
I never
this?
fucking thought about it like that. Jesus Christ.
Well, and that's the thing that I was going to say is that, you know, we defended him for picking up the dagger.
Yeah,
I feel like I shouldn't have
every
now.
point before
The point of
everything after is stupid. The single action of picking up said dagger is not. And
it's
again,
defensible.
I
It's
absolutely can appreciate so much that you made a lot of bad decisions to get here. Then you made one smart-ish decision. Then, because of magic, you can't make a smart decision and put it back down.
Yeah.
But again, like,
why did they go in the first place?
Why did they go in the
this
first
is
place?
not in a vacuum. This
He
is
made bad
decision
fucky wucky and got a
followed by
glimpse
bad
of the forever
decision,
box.
Followed by bad decision,
He
followed
did.
by bad decision.
He did make bad fucky wucky.
Yeah.
That is an actual.
And it didn't
happening.
even take any white claws.
It's
Like,
an actual
seriously.
The best thing about this, More-Death seems surprised, man. I don't even remember that
Dude, he does.
He stands in the fucking doorway. He goes, "Hello," and he opens his arms up wide and he goes, "I'm called More-Death." And then there's about 8 seconds of silence, and then the narration says he mumbled something under his breath, which I always interpreted to be, "Can't believe that fucking worked. All right."
He's
and dude, when they're going
just
down,
three country bumpkins
I'm
sitting there being
More-Death.
like,
I have
and the
candy.
darkness.
Come with me.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Cool." And he's like, "Wait, really?
My
Says
name
his
is
name,
Billy
okay.
Twix.
Come on."
says
I'm
his name, and there's
realizing-
just 3 country bumpkins that are like, yeah, that's normal. Yeah.
I just had a random memory. I have actually been offered free drugs once. I just
Wait,
realized-
what?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I was probably 15.
Oh shit, yeah.
I was probably 15. I was walking around with my
Oh.
friends, and a bunch of like
That's creepy.
very stoned out of their minds older dudes came out and went, "We have drugs in our van." And the difference between me and Matrim Cauthon is we did not go in that van. And that is why I'm standing here
fair,
today.
I will throw out there that if they were stoned off their asses, they probably were actually just offering you drugs.
Okay.
Probably.
We don't know
But again,
what they were stoned
smart
on
thing
though.
to
Earlier,
not
she
go
made the
into
comment-
the van.
Earlier, she
Smart
made the
kid.
comment that stupid people in the city die.
Uh-huh.
She is still with us.
Yeah.
She is not a stupid person.
I would argue potentially no.
And she's honest to her
Humble.
detriment.
I did super
You're
glue
smart.
a
Alright.
plate to our table the other day, so I'm not going to say that I'm not stupid.
We
but
gotta
I've-
move, so
I've
what
got
do
a
I do? Super
survival
glue it.
instinct.
She did.
That's how you really tell Gus you don't want to move. Just super glue a
So-
full dining room set to the table.
Fun story, and this is a bit of a tangent, but it reminded me, the super glue comment reminded me. So my father-in-law,
Okay, I
Was
got concerned. Your prior service, I was really worried.
oh, no. No. I've got those stories too, but those are classified.
I
No,
wasn't talking about crayons.
my
Andrew.
father-in-law
Jesus.
is the one who, was running the rock shop, and then Adrian's the one who's taking it over. Adrian's my wife, the Crystal Barista. She's taking it over. She's running it now. But back in the day when he was running it, they would sell super glue, a really, really primo
yeah.
awesome kind of super
Oh,
glue
good God.
that you could do, jewelry with and things like that with. And he would always joke. He would always say, "Okay, here's the super glue. Here's the solvent. The super glue is $10. The solvent is $10. If you buy the super glue without the solvent and you come in glued to something, the solvent is now $20.
Mm-hmm.
If you call me and you're glued to something and I have to come unglue you with the solvent, it's $30 with the solvent and $10 an hour for my time. It was a big funny thing he had going on, right? Well, all of this stopped one very important day.
Oh.
And it was a beautiful day. It was a super glue container similar to this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And he was trying to take the lid off. He couldn't get it. And so he grabbed it with his teeth and said, "Sweet." And then he felt, as soon as he twisted it, he felt the liquid.
No.
And he had his teeth glued together like that. And we all went, we were trying so hard not to laugh because he made the biggest, if you come in glued to something, I'm going to charge you extra if I have to come unglue you from. And the funny thing is every once in a while they did get a call, hey, I glued my hand to the workbench. We have yet to let him live this down. This was 20 years ago. We have yet to let him live this down.
You can't.
Here's my question. Here's my question. How much did you make that day?
I feel like I've heard a similar story. The only difference was they said that if you come in glued to someone, it's $50.
When I was
it
in
also
high
reminds
school,
me of the mechanic that I went to that had the sign that said, to fix this, it's $100. If you've tried to fix it yourself, it's $200. If you watch me fix it,
Yes!
$50. If you give advice, it's $300.
Oh, yeah.
And all of that different stuff. And that just reminds me of the list of, if you glue X, then it's this much.
Yeah, shit in
that
IT
was-
all the time.
when I was in high
Yep.
school, we had to build a bunch of toothpick bridges, and we had Gorilla Glue and we had toothpicks, and it had to withstand a certain amount of weight. It was physics.
Yeah.
And this boy genius, had the idea that the toothpicks, it was too hard to spread with popsicle sticks, the Gorilla Glue. So he was like, "Oh, if I just scoop it with my hands and put it on the toothpicks, then it's much easier to get the glue on the toothpicks."
No.
Accurate
Which
statement, except for the problem of getting it off of you.
Which all went fine until he scratched his eye and glued his eye shut.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
And that boy's name was Albert Einstein.
Was Matrim Cauthon.
Yeah, it was
That
Matrim
boy's
Cauthon.
name?
There we go.
Was Matrim Cauthon.
And from that day on, we called him One-Eye Matt.
So the boy takes the dagger, and yes, you're right. If there is a big worm person, maybe we take a dagger.
Yeah, it's reasonable.
Fine.
Yeah.
You don't have a
Fine.
shadow.
But I think the other thing that bothers me is I viewed this as the Cave of Wonders from Aladdin. I think I've just watched that movie too many times, where I was like, he's like a boo taking all the stuff. He's dumb. Everyone knows you go in the Cave of Wonders, you leave all the stuff except for the one thing you need, which was the magic.
And, oh my God.
Which the
that's
irony
so...
is that him doing that actually wound up saving Aladdin. So,
I mean,
True.
All right, fine.
You're not wrong.
so Abu is technically the hero of at least the first Aladdin movie.
Hey,
I will
Matt
come
Cauthon
through
is no
the
bloody
screen
hero.
and-
But like Morshadi
He
said,
is no
in
bloody
his
hero.
defense, he is monkey.
he's a monkey? Foreshadowing?
Yes.
So then we leave Shadar Logoth.
Confused. So we leave Shadar Logoth, and now Matt's got a cool dagger.
We've got the weird mist thing.
Emotional support, deeply cursed ruby dagger. I've seen it called
Mashadar.
before.
The emotional support cursed ruby dagger.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
It is, man. He doesn't want to get rid of it. It makes him feel good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's one
So
way to put it.
everyone addicted to cocaine and
Yeah,
heroin.
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. I was like, I know a lot of addicts that could say the same. And
This is my
your
emotional
point-
support syringe.
Yeah.
Well, in a way,
This is my emotional
This is my
support crack
emotional
spoon.
support.
Like, no.
That's literally the words that were going to come out of my mouth, Ali. Oh my God.
Everyone needs an emotional support dagger. Everyone.
You guys got any more of that red balls?
Just imagine going through like TSA and trying to take it. Like, no, this is my emotional support dagger.
You have a permit? No. It's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine. Sorry, go ahead.
exactly.
I'm
Idiot.
You guys got me. That was good.
Thank you.
What therapeutic reason is this dagger? Oh, it keeps me comfortable for when people blow up like balloons.
Hey, it could happen again.
Could happen.
I need a pokey
Hey,
stabby
people have allergies.
for balloon people.
It's for the balloon people.
Karen
It's
eats a peanut.
It's
Top
for the
5.
worm people. Excuse me.
Top 5 fastest ways to get on the no-fly list.
Yeah.
Capitol riot.
I was just about to say storm the Capitol and your
shit.
emotional support dagger for the worm people.
Snake people?
Well, I thought he was like a big worm looking.
Oh, yeah. Well, but he also meets snake people and fox people later, so.
You're
So
not
he's
supposed to
meeting a
tell.
lot of animal looking
He
a little
needs
weird
a
shit
lot
going
of animal
That's
looking
true.
people.
Interesting, Gus. Interesting.
Ogier.
Interesting.
Yeah,
snakes,
he's meeting a lot of people that aren't
foxes.
people. Am I right?
To be
He's meeting
fair,
a lot of people that
in
are
my life,
To be
I've met a lot of
fair.
people that aren't really people. They're just
Yeah.
I mean,
He's hooking
shitbags.
up with a lot of people that are people. That's for sure. So the
They
question
feel like people.
has always been: is Matt a virgin at this point? I don't
Oh
think
God,
so.
no. God,
No.
no.
Head
No.
Matt
Okay,
wasn't
we'll get
a
there.
virgin when he left the 2 rivers. Are you kidding me?
This dude left the 2 rivers and went Rumspringa.
Yeah,
I'm
for real. Because here's where we're at right now. We just hit the chapter where Matt meets Melindra,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
he goes,
They're gonna do it.
he goes, "Are you the daughter of the 9 moons?" And she goes, "I have things I
What?
like to do by moonlight." And then they walk off
And I
together.
went, oh
and
my
Allie
God.
started screaming.
Well, and
Because I'm the
let's be
thirstiest
honest, I mean,
podcaster of all time.
Matt has now played Maiden's Kiss.
Yeah, we've
You
talked
don't
about that.
leave
Yeah.
Maiden's Kiss with your V card. Come on.
But
Sorry,
also,
I shouldn't say that.
Okay, we'll get there.
You're good at Maiden's Kiss.
We have spent,
Yeah. And
I would say, at least 45 minutes speculating on Matt's particular play style of Maiden's Kiss.
Oh
I-
yeah.
he,
Oh yeah.
I believe it talks about him doing well.
Yep.
Yes.
And he didn't go back to his room
Until
until the
dawn.
morning.
It doesn't
Uh-huh.
specify
like-
where the kiss happens.
That's true.
No, it doesn't.
We don't know. They don't. Jordan fades
La,
to
la, la,
black.
la, la,
Doesn't
la.
give us
It
rules.
says the maiden gets to kiss you, and she gets to decide if she likes.
Which
Your
let me throw
kissability.
out there first
What
and
stamina?
foremost,
Jesus Christ.
I just want to throw out there.
Damn,
I don't
sir.
think it's totally fair that the person involved in the act is also the judge. I think that's a
That's
little
fair.
suspect. But also, I mean, it makes sense in such a game.
Now we need a Jeopardy buzzer for it. They're doing their Maiden's Kiss. And then a certain amount of time goes by.
Sloppy technique.
Oh my god.
Well, yeah, you delineate
I'll give you an
Sloppy.
A for
And-
effort
and
or a
not
C
in
for
a good
technique.
way.
by putting your
Not the good
point
kind
a
of
little
sloppy.
closer to their
Clean
neck.
it up.
If that's not a good way of telling somebody that their kiss was a little too wet, I don't know what the fuck
So-
is.
So
I think we're
Allie-
talking about different kinds of kisses here.
Yeah, I think we're. Yeah. So Allie, not to continue this tangent or anything, but
Have you
earlier-
played? No.
earlier when we were talking about Matt, you said that at first you hated Matt.
Yes.
And then you get to the point, and this is, again, as a reminder, only up to book 4,
Yes.
couple chapters of book 5. What was the moment? When did Matt become relatable? When did he change from annoying to relatable for
Well, 'cause
you?
that was such a mind fuck because I'm sorry, can you say the F word on this
You
podcast?
can say
okay, I just wanted to
whatever you
Allie,
want, just
Allie,
mind your fucking
Allie.
language.
I just
We
hey,
say the
I went
F
to
word
fucking
right
Catholic
here.
school, okay? Everyone watch your fucking language on this podcast.
God
Alright,
damn
so-
it.
This is our fucking Christian Minecraft server.
Creator, damn it. Bloody ashes.
So
Blooded.
yeah, that was definitely a
blooded
mind fuck.
onions.
Was going from I hate this fucking guy to am I this fucking guy? And it was a very slow descent into it, I think, because he takes the dagger. I immediately go, I hate this kid. What an asshole. And then he's an asshole to his friends the entire time until he gets healed. And then he goes to Tyr. Yeah, he gets healed. He sneaks out of he goes on a luck bender.
Real quick about getting healed. Can I just throw out there that I am a little bit jealous of Matt at that point? Because there's the point where he's like, I've been a dick. I've been a dick. He's a really horrible person. And then he gets healed by the Aes Sedai. Then he wakes up and he's like, hey guys, how's it going? And they're like, you've been a dick. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry for that. I don't even remember it. I just remember being in leaving the two rivers and going to that, one city. How's everything? And everybody's just like, Matt, you fucking card. You're totally right. You're actually still our old Badger.
Badger fucker.
Ali and Gus, do y'all watch anime at all?
Some, yeah.
He does.
Have you ever watched Is It Okay to Pick Up a Girl in a Dungeon?
No.
It was on Netflix. Josh, have you?
I have not.
Dude,
this makes no sense.
Seen that. How the fuck have you not seen
that?
So
Daniel, you've seen it.
Yes.
Have you seen the parody on YouTube, How to Be an Adventurer?
Okay, I have not.
Oh, you've got to watch it because Belle, who is the main protagonist of the anime, in the parody, literally everybody wants him for his dick.
Okay.
Like that is literally it. And that, like, if you go and watch the parody, even without watching the actual anime, I feel like Belle in that kind of becomes Matt.
Oh, yeah.
So the moment where, and again, like, I understand, like, the early Matt hate. Like, my wife's comment was when they get to the Eye of the World, and they find the Eye of the World, and there's this pool of what appears to be water. And she's like, what a little shit. His first impulse is, I'm going to kick a rock into it.
What a shithead.
Hey, Pippin does that in the movie.
Dumb.
Yeah, I mean,
this is an
amazing
historical artifact. This is an amazing historical artifact. I'm going to put a rock in it.
Was there a single moment?
I mean,
that did
I
it
want
for
to throw out there. I'm not saying
it was an evolution.
Smart,
so we'll walk through it.
Smarter than a number of other people who would put their goddamn hand in it.
I thought you were going to say a different body part.
I mean, to be fair, if the story of Achilles is anything to go off of,
it does a whole fucking baby in it. Yeah, exactly.
Ali, what was the moment? Or what was
so
the
we're getting there.
Go in the field.
So he's healed.
We start to get there. The first hang on a second was him beating the shit out of Gawain and Galad, because I think particularly because I thought Galad was the most annoying shithead on the planet.
Ali's fucking about face on Gawain, by the way, is really fun.
Never date a comedian. This is what's up. Never date a man that's funny.
She spent the entire first 4 books going like, Gawain's so cool. I like him so much.
I was like,
he's so much.
He's like a nice.
Oh, he's great. His brother's an asshole.
Have you seen the joke about why women like funny men in like heterosexual relationships?
No.
They like funny men because they make them laugh, so they spend more time statistically with their eyes closed, so they can't see how ugly they are.
Oh, that's really good.
I say that as somebody that tries to be kind of funny.
I feel attacked.
Yeah, but see,
well, now we understand, Josh.
I used to work in a comedy club because I've had like 800 weird jobs, and always the rule was like, don't date the comedians, don't date them. They're always shitty boyfriends. Don't date them. And then inevitably, you'd always get that girl that was like, he's different, you guys, and you go,
oh, of course.
Fucking idiot. And this is what happened. I was like, he's different, you guys. He's so funny. He's like so nice. No, fucking dumb. Dumb. I was mad. So, okay. So we get, that's why I don't like Matt. And then we get to, so he beats the shit out of everybody. I was like, all right, I'm starting to get on board. Maybe we'll find out.
You're still on probation though, asshole.
Yeah, I don't get swayed that easily. but he also still looks like a corpse. And then we get to like Jack Skellington looking motherfucker. And
Fuck
then
me,
he goes on
Skeletor.
Luckbender, and like he's leaving the White Tower. And I go, Swan's gonna fucking murder you, my dude. But fine, go off, do your thing. He gets reunited with Tom. Great. He goes to Tyr. He goes to Tyr and he starts looking for the girls, for the Wonder Girls. And I go, okay. So maybe there's some good stuff about you after all. We'll find out. You're still on probation because once you've wronged me, I don't come back easily. Yeah. And then,
oh my God, what's your sign? Because like that's so Scorpio, which I am.
Excuse me, that is rude as fuck.
You can't blame me for what happened. I'm an asparagus.
We'll have to come back, by the way, to the Horn of Valir later. We'll get there.
Oh, and then he toots he tooted the fucking horn, and I was like, you idiot. It's not the last battle yet. It's too early. Yeah. Then I thought he fucked up the horn too, which I didn't. And then he almost died because of it. And I was like, you're dumb. So dumb.
If Matt with Dusty Will gets his way, we won't even have to deal with that in the show. So
hashtag let Barney blow.
Let Barney blow. Then we get to oh fuck. Okay, we're at Tyr, and I go, okay, you get one fucking chance with me. He starts fucking everything that moves, and I'm like, all right, well, fine, but he doesn't stand rapists, so we're into him for a second. Then he goes to the fucking door, and I swear to you guys, I went, if this kid gets in that fucking door, I'm gonna snap him in half. I think it's my teacher instincts. I'm like, do not cross my boundaries. Do not cross my boundaries. And my boundary is this door frame. Do not walk in this door. Nothing good could possibly happen. There's no reason for you to walk in the door. Just flip a coin and decide where you're going to go, or scry or some shit. Take like a little piece of string and like make it, throw it at a map, and that's where you're going to go. Because like we know by now that you've got some luck bullshit. But no, this asshole
scry with or without a crystal from the crystal barista.
Oh,
that's what I say.
If he wants a successful scrying,
scry with the crystal barista. There you go. I mean, it's the Stone of Tyr. There's got to be rocks everywhere, right? It's in the name.
It's a big ass rock. It's one big ass rock.
Right? Just find a rock somewhere and just figure it out. You just throw it at a map.
Into the eye of the world. You can't find one to throw at a goddamn map.
Makes me think of the Hulk meme from Thor Ragnarok, where it's like, we're gonna defeat them, and the Hulk's just there, but big rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Big monster.
But yeah. And so he walks his ass into the doorway, and I go, this fucking guy. I swear, every time I think I'm in, he drags me back out. I just,
Wait, that's the opposite of the
exactly.
Line.
That's Andrew's sex tape
every
version
time
too.
I think I'm into him, he goes, never mind, let me juke this into a new bullshit thing. So I was up to here with his bullshit. And also his just treatment of Moraine. The boys' treatment of Moraine in particular pisses me off every time because that's my woman. I love her. I would die for her. Like, not to be dramatic, but I would absolutely die for her.
That's for damn sure.
Absolutely. So
were you guys around last March for the Winter is Coming Hero Bracket Championship?
We were baby content people at that point. We had released like 4 episodes. Thank you. Pandemic, we'll do that.
We started last December. Look at us now.
We started last December, and then we released like 8 episodes on and off at random until March 14th, and then we just started doing. For the first, I think, 3 months.
Started at the bottom now. Where the fuck are we?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, what I was going to say, though, is that, and this is just so you guys can be prepared for it, because I'm pretty sure winteriscoming.net is doing another bracket, probably in March timeframe. But last year, it was, they had Moraine and Rand in the bracket in the tournament. Rand got knocked out pretty early because he's Rand.
Mm-hmm.
Shut the fuck up.
However, Moraine
dragon bitch.
Moraine went boom, 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 and as she progressed through the brackets, we were all like, "Holy shit! Rally to Moraine! Like this is amazing!" And at the end, it was her and Lucifer, like teeing off at the end.
I remember this.
And it was Twitter of Time versus hashtag Lucifans,
Yeah.
and it was
yeah.
thousands
neck
of
and
votes.
neck.
That might
And
be
it
one of the most
literally-
popular polls on Twitter of all fantasy
It was
time.
big.
We
Whoa.
we
It was
won
huge.
by like it had to have been within 10 votes. Like
Dude,
it was
and it-
insanely close.
I remember that.
And let me throw out there, it hurt me a little bit. Because when it comes right down to it, dude, Tom Ellis as
He's
Lucifer,
good.
Like
He's
he
so
is
good.
dude. Like, are you kidding me? If you have not watched that show, go do that for the next 2 weeks. Like, you have my permission to call off work and get caught up because it's fucking fantastic.
Guys, head over to
But at the
blacktowerpod.com right now where you can
end-
purchase your one-of-a-kind doctor's notes from Black Tower Pod, excusing you from work for the next 4 weeks.
Hell
But
yeah.
at the same time, I had to go with maureen because she is just that like on another level above.
Yeah.
But it hurt me still because I was
It
just
was-
like, especially
was a
because when
difficult-
that poll came out, I was like 4 seasons into Lucifer and I hadn't just discovered it. But like I had been on that shit. And so like, oh my God, I got to the poll and they were both in the finals. And I was just like, no, you can't do this to me. Please put her up against fucking Dean Winchester or something. I don't give a shit. Like,
Well-
why do you have to do it against the character? And then of
All
course
of
I was
this-
like, oh, because it's the finals.
Yep.
Duh. But
and-
It's got to be a heartbreaker.
Exactly. And
That's how
that
you know you care.
yes.
and that's how it was with our Wheel of Time fandom name poll too. Is as we got further on in the brackets, everybody was like, "Shit,
Yeah.
I don't know which one to pick." I'm like, I mean, that
I
tells us
know,
we're doing
that's the
good.
point.
What
I
matters in the
remember
end is
Jon
Wheelies didn't
Snow
win, so-
knocked
Wheelies
Oh, I
out
got
forgot about
shot
Wheelies.
down
in round one. Yeah.
one. Yeah. they
Watt
won.
on Prime, we love you. If you could use Dragonsworn though, that would be awesome because that's what
Yeah.
the fandom kind of.
Yeah.
If we had to
you
point out
use
one thing
Wheelies-
you did wrong.
Dragonsworn's pretty good.
Yeah.
So
Do you
We
guys
should
know?
do
What,
another one to see if there's an updated name.
do you guys know?
People don't like Dragonsworn anymore.
we love Dragonsworn.
We don't care. You
Everyone
already
loves
swore to the
Dragonsworn.
dragon, so you're stuck. But
I'll take it. As long as I don't have to talk to Massima, I'm happy.
Boo.
You do not. He's
All right,
gone,
good.
That
motherfucker.
guy.
We don't
He's
fuck
so
that guy.
He's so fake. Like you hated Rand until you found out he was the dragon. And then all of a sudden you're all about
I
him.
did.
Shut up.
Oh. I thought you were talking about the fandom. I was like,
No.
No,
Massima.
Like,
Yeah,
like
Fuck people who like the
But
Wheel
yeah.
of Time.
No.
man.
No. Well, we
Book
like
five
that.
is shit.
We
I'm
like
only on
that.
book 3.
No,
and it
I'm talking about
sucks.
fuck you,
Massima.
no,
wheelies.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, I go, excuse
Then
me.
he's like, fuck this sheep herder from the Two
Dumbass
Rivers. And
book.
it's like, he's the dragon reborn, and he's like, can I lick your boots, sir?
when you look up in the dictionary backpedaling, his face is the picture of
Yeah.
backpedaling.
Yeah.
And I just go, every time he comes up, I go, huh, fake. You're fake
Wait,
as shit.
did you just cast Lindsey Graham as
Bro.
I
I don't know how to feel because there was a fair port. No,
that was
I'm not gonna go
visceral,
there.
what just happened to
I'm
my body.
shook.
I'm not
That
gonna
was
go
visceral.
there.
God.
As somebody from South Carolina, I could
That's
feel
all
that. I
that
could feel that
matters.
punch in the gut of my soul.
I don't
Uh,
even care that like
Oh.
that
Let me
wasn't
just say,
100% accurate. That was
before-
just fantastic. The reactions.
Wow.
I choose.
Wow.
So you know how most people like if you have a loved one that dies in the family to bring the mood super down. You prefer to remember them as they were when they were alive. I prefer to remember Lindsey Graham before he ever even started talking about trying to run for president, knowing he had no hope of ever getting nominated.
Uh-huh.
It was a different, universe.
I prefer
He was
to
a- he
never
was a
think
bit
about
better.
Lindsey Graham.
He was a bit better. Now he's just
I
now I don't know what kind of drugs he's smoking, but
Dude,
I
that was
like-
that was like New 52 Lindsey Graham. Like, what are you talking about?
that's fine. It was still the heyday. It was still better than whatever the fuck it is now.
so as far as Matt goes,
He needs to go
Okay.
play Maiden's Kid
yeah.
and lose.
Josh, can you do me
because
a
that's what
favor?
we're talking about.
Oh yeah, we're
Can
at
you
the
just
Black
let
Tower
us
podcast,
be-
not
why do you have
modern
to be
politics.
dad?
All
Why do you have
right.
to be dad?
I am Watt Dad. Did you not see Twitter?
Come on,
After-
Watt Daddy.
Hundreds
Let's
of people
talk about
asking
Matt a
me
little
to
more.
adopt them.
At worst, I'm in second
Congratulations!
place.
You're all adopted.
Oh. I didn't even
My
ask for
paperwork
that,
hasn't
but
gone
thank
through
you.
An honor.
Oh fuck!
But,
I'm about to move now.
I
Shit.
will not adopt anyone against their will, so you're safe.
Hey,
okay.
you feel free. The pandemic has brought out some needs for some parents. But anyway,
Hey, just
continuing on.
remember, you now have to help pay for the wedding as well. So
Yes, you do.
Oh,
Dad.
Thank you.
You're not gonna
Thank
try
you.
me,
Thank you.
Dad.
Thank you.
Dad,
I also
please.
love
That's
how
how
you
they
can't
get
even like argue
I've got a lot
other
of useless
cultures,
shit to pay
'cause
for.
You just adopted both Ali and Gus, so
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what
that's
culture.
weird.
You know
no,
what,
you
man?
get to pick.
We
It's
look
Sophie's
so
choice.
much alike that people this is the fucking thing. When we were not engaged, when we weren't engaged yet, we'd meet people and they go like, "Oh, so you're brother
Sibling.
and sister?"
Yeah.
And we go,
No.
"No." And they go, "Married?" We'd go, "Actually,
No.
also no."
Not yet.
oh god, just
No,
how
but
easily
so
Allie
much
could screw with you
more
by looking at you and be like, "What are you doing, step bro?"
Yep.
How easy it would be for her to just mess with you in public.
It would be, yeah.
Okay.
She's
I
gonna
had
do
to
it now.
scream for a little while.
Ali-
We have a
Sorry,
washing
Gus.
machine. I
Ali.
could have been stuck in it.
No,
I don't know.
no, we're not
What are
going.
you doing, step sis?
For
No.
Gus's mental health.
You know, the worst part about this is that this is still very on brand like discussion for Matt.
Yes,
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
I
of
agree.
any person in the Wheel of Time, when you start talking about this type of humor and or actions, Matt would be right there, like, "Hey, what's going on, guys?
What is it
What
like?
are you
Oh.
doing, step
Every-
badger?
Is
What are you
stepsister
doing, Step?"
stuck in the laundry?"
That's
Every
like,
Again?
single maid in the Stone of Tyr.
that's like not blood related.
No.
It's fine.
No. How dare you, Gus? Gus, only the slightly thick maids.
Only the
In the
pleasantly
Stone
plump
of
maids.
Tyr.
That's true.
Yeah, boy, she's thick.
She-
I
That's
like
Matt
it.
just walking around.
He's walking
I
around
want
with.
to read a quote. She was thicker than a bowl of oatmeal.
He's
thicker
the little
than
kid
some
in the
Two Rivers
kitchen.
Tobacco.
He's the one, like his first punishment was him sitting in Mistress Luan's, Mistress Alvere's kitchen. Yeah, I fixed it. Just stirring up like some honey cake batter and it's making noise. And he's like, "That's what good pee sounds like."
Jesus fucking Christ.
And that's how he got his first beating from someone that wasn't his mom.
Because you know what, this is doing something for me.
This is what I like.
This is the quality content you're here for. Okay,
From
real
that point
quick.
forward, he kept trying to steal honey cakes.
Real quick.
Holy shit.
Allie, what
Yes.
was when did you
All right,
When
we're
did
You were
about
When
just
did you
saying
stop
yes to
stop
being
get
on this
there.
yet?
So
when
we
did
go,
you
okay,
stop
all right,
hating
all right,
Matt?
all right.
You
So-
had the evolution, and then when did you look at that and go, "Damn, Matt's
so
a
this
badass"?
fucking
and,
idiot
like,
walks
you're
into the
team
door.
Matt.
All right, we leave Tyr, we get to Roydian. And Matt
Okay.
stands there and goes, "All right, you're gonna go in those columns. I'm not coming in after you." And then Rand goes, "You're not coming in after me. Period." And he goes, "I'm not coming in after you." And then Rand goes in the columns and he goes, "All right, I'll give him 1 hour before I go in there after him."
There's more steps to that,
Or
though.
whatever.
It's so important because
I mean-
he goes, "Well, what, you think I'm gonna save you?" And he goes, "Tell me, motherfucker, tell me you won't." And Matt goes, "Well, why would I?
Me. Promise
would I?
me with your pinky, motherfucker.
Pinky promise.
I think
Shit.
that'd be a stupid thing to do. Tell me you won't." And then it was
Whatever
about
happens, do
Yeah.
not.
45 seconds of silence, and Matt goes, "Okay, yeah, I won't.
Right?
I will
Matt's-
not go in there."
And I went, "Oh no.
And
That's-
that's you knew
I went,
right
"Oh,
then
no."
he was gonna do it.
Oh no." That was the first inklings where I went, "Oh no. Oh no."
Oh
And
no,
then-
I
My
hope
Raider
I don't
voice, like-
fall.
I went,
Matt's just like,
well,
"I'm not going to
no,
go in
it's
there."
not. It's
What are
not
you
falling at
doing,
all. I
step
went.
columns?
Are we? It was this. It was this. I went. Are we? No. Are we the same person? No. No. I was like, and then I had to call my therapist and go, "I think I hated myself."
Y'all, Robert Jordan has awoken interactions in me.
Rojo needs
I
to
am
pay
not
for my
prepared
therapy
for.
for a while.
I'm having
I called-
thoughts.
I called him. I went, "Ben, Excuse me. I think we need to start having some therapy sessions again because I hated myself in a book. It's not
Also,
good.
I want to throw up.
I just see you sitting there shaking on the phone.
What I'm
Ben,
talking about? You're gonna need to-
We need to step it up to weekly.
Ben,
now.
we may need to go weekly.
I'll see you tomorrow. Just come on.
So-
Gus,
It was-
what was it? What was it for you? Like, did you hate Matt and then slowly begin to love him? Like, just give us a.
It was. Oh God, 8 years ago, I think.
I mean,
which is not a long time.
That's
but-
why I told you to go back in time to your.
Yeah, hold on. Let me suck the beard back in and grow some
Do
more
that.
hair.
This is where we fell in love. It was a goatee instead of a
It
beard.
was for a while.
That's so sweet. Ugh.
Man, I if I'm remembering correctly, it was about the same time. You know, because book one, Matt. Fuck book one, Matt. Honestly,
You're
book
not
two, Matt,
supposed to like what book one.
You're not supposed to like
Yeah.
book one. Emmonsfield 5 is
fuck all of
like
them.
episode
shut
4.
shut your
Luke
face.
Skywalker.
Fuck
Shut
all
your
of them
face.
except
You're not supposed to like him.
maybe
They're all
90.
like- Well,
She's
I
all right.
liked Egwene.
Yeah,
But
like
that's because she's a
Aaron.
tryhard,
she is
just
a big
like me.
fucking tryhard in book
And I
one.
recognize that.
Perrin book one is actually really nice.
I like
That's
Perrin.
true. I'm sorry. I don't count Perrin,
Perrin-
because
Perrin
he's
does his best. God damn it.
Always. Perrin's just trying.
yeah. Perrin just doesn't think he
Egwene
should
is a
have
try
to do this
hard.
stuff.
Perrin is
Yeah.
a try.
Mhm.
Yeah.
for Matt, for
Egwene,
me,
sometimes I go, girl, you need to sit down and shut your
Girl,
mouth.
Girl,
I will
have
say-
a Snickers. You're
I will
not
say
yourself
this
when you're
is-
hungry.
I will say with Egwene, and there's a lot of hate for Egwene online, and I'm calling y'all
For
out
good reason.
right now. Egwene hate is wrong.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Depends on the book.
I think it's
Depends
overstated.
on the book.
Is what
All
I'll
right,
say.
have me back on for an Egwene episode and we can break it
In
down.
Let's
5
do
years,
this.
when
Okay.
we're done with the series.
Yeah, you
Oh,
guys are gonna
yeah.
have to move and then come back on
Yes.
Yeah.
so that we
'Cause
can
I have a
talk
lot of
about it.
Sounds like
feelings.
it's going to be a 2v2 because I agree with Daniel.
I have a lot of feelings about Egwene, most of which are positive. Oh, and I really wanted to have a whole breakdown eventually of Fail and my feelings about
We
this woman.
were gonna either talk about Matt or Fail.
Yeah, we went back and,
and
forth.
I said there's some characters whose plot development you're earlier in, and some
Actually
of them who you've
happens.
been with for a while.
Ah,
Hey.
ah,
Oh,
yes! Oh my
It's a
god! I love
matter
you.
of opinion.
What does that mean?
I have strong
I'm
feelings
named
about
after
Fail.
a horse.
I forgot she called herself Mantarp. Oh,
It's
God.
a strong hunter's name. Yeah, you see that guy?
See that
The
horse over
really
there?
intimidating guy with the horse? Yeah, that's what he named his
That's the
horse.
horse's name.
that was great.
Here's a bag of oats.
When it comes to Matt,
Matt
I-
Cauthon.
I was a shithead when I was a kid. So I started reading these books when I was
when he was a kid.
I like to maintain the
God.
pretense that I'm a responsible adult, but I'm not.
He says after trying to do his best to keep us on
So-
topic all.
When I read
I know, like normally I'm the one that's like, all right, so back to the time. And Josh would be like, so Wheel of Time. And I'm just over here just like,
When I read-
hee, hee, hee.
when I read this in the first couple of books, like Rand was the one that I initially was drawn to. And as a teenager, I'm
Same.
reading this and I'm like, broody, moody Rand. And I'm like, yes, the weight of the world on your shoulders. Now that I'm like more adulty, I'm kind of like,
His cloak is green because he feels sick about his future and doesn't
yeah,
want to meet the
yeah,
end.
exactly. Now that I'm more adulty, I'm kind of like Matt, like, damn, like his whole aloofness where he's like, I'm gonna do me, you do you, and leave me out of it. I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna drink, and I'm gonna dandle a barmaid and I'm like, as
Ain't
I
no
grow
bloody
older,
Lord.
I'm like,
I ain't no
Damn.
bloody Lord.
Matt is my boy. I got big Matt energy because what I want right now is this, and just
Yeah. You're like, I just want
Quick
to
sip.
go have a drink and y'all
I just
can
wanna
leave me
drink.
alone.
I don't want to fight any battles. I mean, battles are cool, but I don't want to be in one.
Yeah, battles
Matt is that
interest
kind
you.
of-
Also, I have
Battles
all these
interest me.
memories in my head of fighting battles. and
Matt
they
is that
suck.
kind of kid and that like leaves home, gets his first taste of alcohol, and is just like,
Yeah, fuck everything else.
this shit's
man.
fucking great. I don't need anything else in life.
Here's a
God damn
question.
it. Stop
Because-
convincing me more.
Every time I
Matt
take
is-
another sip, I feel like it's the best thing I've ever tasted in my life.
Matt goes into Fox store and he comes out and he's got all these memories.
And I went,
Uh-huh.
B, do not go in that door. I swear to fucking
yeah,
Christ.
both times.
I was
well,
so
that's
annoyed.
Snake door and
Oh.
Fox store.
I was
Let's
so
go ahead
annoyed.
and bring up. Let's go ahead and bring up book 4, all the way to the beginning of the series. How often Matt goes in to do something to try to help somebody he cares about, or to just be a good friend,
Yeah.
and gets fucked.
Oh, totally.
That's all he does.
Totally.
Ed gets fucked.
Now,
Like he's like,
granted,
I'm going to keep
again,
going
I
with
would
Perrin
say-
and Rand to the scary guy whose name is part death
More
because I don't want to leave him alone.
Or-
additional
Stop
amounts
it.
of
Additional,
death.
yeah.
Matt was
Daniel's
the driving
triggered.
force behind
Daniel's
that one.
triggered.
Matt was the driving force behind that one. He did not go in to save his friends.
You know,
That was the
that's fair.
reason they were there.
treasure.
But you're absolutely right.
This
There
episode's
are-
Squirrel is brought to you by Matt Stacker. It still affects us all.
I mean, I will absolutely say that when he goes into the Stone of Tyr, it's to save someone else's bacon. When he thinks
that,
about
yeah.
going into the crystal columns, it's only if Rand needs him
Yep.
yeah.
and only if things get fucky. Now, of course, in that instance, it's great because the tables get turned because you see it from Matt's perspective. And he goes, well, you see it from Rand's perspective, and he goes, Matt, look, I'm the dragon now. And then he goes, do not come into these columns after me. For so many reasons, don't fucking do it. And Matt goes, dude, I was never going to go into the columns. What are you talking about?
I
I'll
just
go
love
to
how
this
like
door
You think
instead.
I am.
I just love
And
how
then
like
Rand is
leading
like,
up to the
"Alright,
Stone
cool."
of Tyr, everybody's kind of like, Rand really kind of looks like an IO man, and Matt's like, yeah, kind of, but it's not really that serious. Flash forward, Stone of Tyr. Huh, there's an IO climbing the Stone of Tyr. That's weird.
Yeah. I wonder who that is.
I wonder who that is.
But anyway,
Huh.
so
A
again,
lone
we-
ailment climbing.
Rand is like, absolutely do not follow me. Matt's like, why would I follow you, you idiot? And Rand's like, cool, we're on the same page. Don't fucking do it. And then goes into the columns. And then we switch to Matt's perspective. And again, one of my favorite parts is what you just said of the, all right, cool, I give him an hour and then I go in. And you're like, God damn it.
My
And
man.
then, of course, I
Kid.
do like
Well,
how
you-
that
you
one
brought up a-
switched because Matt doesn't actually go in to save him. In fact, Rand comes out to save Matt.
Oh
Yes.
my god.
But
That-
so scary.
That I
Rand
think is when you fully
still, oh,
Yes.
clicked in.
Here's
Is when
what
he was
happened.
hanged.
Yes. So here's what happened. First of all, Matt goes to the Stone of Tyr, deals with a very different dagger.
We also need to talk
But-
about. We do need to talk about his journey in book 3 after being healed, because I think that's something that you glossed over pretty hard.
What part?
He gets healed and he thinks, fuck this shit. I blew the horn of Valyr. Who cares? I'm out of here. Fuck all
Fuck
of it.
this shit
And I
out,
went,
Matt.
And then he hears hearsay pretty much of he overhears he does one errand for a friend, which is deliver a message, and
Oh,
then he
yeah.
overhears, yeah, well, maybe we should kill Elaine, and he goes,
Oh, and he gives
guess I got to go on a
and
cross
he gives
country
money
trip.
to orphans, and he saves Aludra, who I'm sure is coming
Yeah,
back.
he saves
Doesn't
eventually.
he hear a
Believe
rumor
it's
that
coming
there's a
Yeah,
certain
come
drunkard
on.
Gleeman as well?
Yeah, he
Just
gets
fucking-
Tom out of his
So-
depression spiral.
Yes, that's
Here's
true.
the conclusion.
Tom's like,
that
this shit that I'm drinking, it's pretty good too. And you know what? Let's just keep
Wine
going.
is
And Matt's just like,
great,
you're a
and-
filthy drunk.
Here's what I'm
well,
hearing.
and I also, hold on just a second, Josh. I want to let you do this, but I fucking love how we just had a whole conversation about how Matt is just like, this shit, this is fucking great. And I just want to drink it and have, thick barmaids go ahead and wait on me for the rest of my life. And then he meets Tom, who's like, you know what's fucking great? Wine and thick barmaids. And Matt goes,
This is all of Matt. He's just like, I just want to drink and meet Disney female characters.
The other thing that Gus
Pixar
and I
moms. He loves Pixar.
There you go, the
moms.
Pixar
Who
moms.
doesn't? Oh my god! If they don't have a dump truck ass, he doesn't.
That's the funniest part. Is because Elastigirl has control over the proportions of her body, so she chooses to be dummy thick.
That is a choice.
That's a good choice.
The other thing,
Like, you know who's gonna love
about,
this? Bob.
The other.
No, wait. When Elastigirl was having her kids, do you think she actually had like a normal birth?
I don't.
No, that thing opened wide.
You know, they say
those kids walked out.
Yeah, they literally walked out.
Yeah.
Push really hard.
But the other thing.
Why?
Just, you got gloves on? Go.
The
I
other
hate
thing.
you guys for making me think that.
Jesus Christ.
Ellie, please go. Save me.
Yeah.
The other
Please
thing that Gus and I
save me.
joke about a lot is the Two Rivers boys. I think they put chastity belts on all of them.
Yeah.
Back at home. Because here's my theory.
Rand is such a
Rand is both Rand and Perrin. Oh my God, Perrin.
Well, we're not married yet.
Both of them are like, I'm not married yet. But Matt, because he gets so skinny, is able to shimmy out of the chastity belt. And that's why he gets to fuck on the Stone of Tear.
His hips don't lie and he shimmies out.
He just shimmies out of the chastity belt.
The funny thing is we refer to
It
Perrin
happens
as
during the dagger
Edgelord.
phase.
Yeah.
Yes.
Edgelord.
Oh,
Yes.
I get it.
Edgelord.
It all
every
makes
time-
sense.
Every time you think Perrin's about to do something badass, he's like, ah! Just kidding.
Because
And
he
you're like,
doesn't have the key. Because he doesn't have the key.
Because his little wolf head tries to go and it hits a solid block.
Oh my God. Okay, you know what?
Perrin has
Thank
to
you.
put up the blacksmith strength to just erection his chastity belt off.
Not necessarily.
When he
Luhan
wants
made
to.
it really solid.
When he wants to. Okay,
Yeah,
you know
he'll
what?
make himself a key someday.
Everyone at home, we're going to have to do a part 2 of this. We're going to have to do a part 2 of this. It's going to happen. Because this is just too good. This is too good.
Oh, wait, we ran out of time already?
We can talk
it
to
is.
whoever you want.
It is that
We
time
just
already.
ran out of time.
So I would like
We could go on for another hour easy.
recommend
but we're
once
not gonna
again
do that.
that you go to the Wheel Takes, follow all their shit. Like,
Yes.
what do you guys have? All your social platforms. Go.
Facebook, Instagram,
Instagram, Twitter,
Wheel
yeah.
Takes should pull us up.
Bam! Do it.
Yeah.
By
YouTube.
order of the Sword of on Mahale, if you're not following these guys, you're in trouble. Okay? Go do it. Go follow them. Go to the blacktarpod.com. Go to the greatblight.com. Go to the crystalbarista.com. Do these things for your own good.
And head on over to the Crystal Barista. Not what I was trying to say. Head on over to newcreationsbyjen.com.
That's right.
And you might notice on blacktowerpod.com that there's now a new button under merch that you can click
Oh.
where you can view
Is there a new
exclusively Black Tower podcast merch from New Creations by Jen. So head over there. Can't wait to see a Will Takes mug on it.
Yes.
You know, not
Needs to happen.
pressuring, but definitely pressuring.
We're
We would
working
like
on
to.
some merch. Yeah, we're working on
Frosted
it.
Mug Society.
If you guys need
Listen,
help,
currently I have the complete set, and I only know of one other individual in the world that has a complete set. I may be wrong, but I only know of one other person that has the complete set. So
We are working on merch. So if y'all have advice for us, we'd love to hear it.
I would love to talk to you about
send
that
your
later
logo
on.
to New Creations by Jen and say we want merch.
Well,
Oh, wow,
but you have
that's
to
easy.
send it in the
We
right
wish
format.
to join. Yeah, you got to send it in the right format, but get in conversation with New Creations by Jen and definitely join
Well-
the Frosty Mug Society because
We'll talk after this because
it's pretty dope
can
right
help you
there.
out.
I don't know if you can see that.
It is
Oh.
pretty dope.
Oh, look at
That's
that
really
mug.
dope.
look at
Look
that
at it.
sexy
Oh,
mug
God.
there.
Like I
Look
say
at
every
this
time,
guy.
I'm still super pissed that Jen had the idea. It may have been Rob, but Jen or Rob, between the two, had the idea to do the logo in black and white. Our logo, that one. Then I'm probably pointing to the wrong
Yes.
side
No,
on the
you're
recording.
pointing at
No,
it.
you're
good.
nailing it.
No, I-
Killing it.
I am for us,
good.
but I feel like it flips to the other side. I don't
It
know.
does, but
No.
if you point this way, it'll flip your finger too.
That's now you're pointing at yourself.
Yeah,
Now you're
that's
pointing at
Wherever
both.
it is, our fucking logo, the Black Tower
You were
Podcast
right the
logo.
first time.
They did it in
You're
black
right.
and white, and it looks super fucking sexy. And
pretty
I'm
awesome.
still angry at myself for not thinking of it. But it may make an appearance in the relatively near future.
Nice.
Indeed.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in. I want to express a super huge thank you to the Wheel Takes. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here. This has been an absolute, like, ridiculous pleasure, and we cannot thank you enough for being here.
Thank you
so
for
much.
having us.
Congratulations. You have
And we'll
ridiculously
see-
pleasured the Black Tower.
Hey,
In a
tell the
couple of
people
months-
Thanks
where
for
they
whatever
can
you want.
find you.
In a
We
couple
just
of
talked
months
about the
when we
social
have you
medias.
back on, maybe you'll be on, like, I don't know, book 8.
Probably, yeah.
We'll
By
see.
that point, at our pace,
75.
Something like
I don't know.
we got
We'll
Twitter.
have
Allie will be on
a
chapter 8 of book
character
5.
Yeah,
for
well,
you guys to go ahead and talk about and rant about for an hour
Talk
and a half.
about yourself.
Yep.
Listen, I'm happy to rant about any character
any
anytime.
one. We got. uh,
I have been on
okay.
a journey with literally every character.
We got Twitter. Twitter's called
That's
Wheel
what we
Takes
do.
Pod. Instagram's Wheel Takes Podcast, and we have a Facebook. It's facebook.com/wheeltakes. And we have.
And
a
if they
Discord.
want to listen to the podcast, where can they go?
The podcast is on all of your favorite podcast streaming services. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podcast Addict, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, what have you. We're
Love it.
there. You look up Wheel
You guys
Takes, you'll find us.
You'll
Fucking
find us.
awesome.
To quote an
And
earlier
if you
joke,
don't find
Stitcher,
us,
I
tweet at
barely
us.
know
We'll
her.
help you.
Yeah, hit us
Right.
up. Let us know.
So
we're
once
happy to
again-
point you.
Thank you so much, you guys. Everybody, you need to go follow them on all their social media, because here in a little while they're going to have a merch store. It's going to be super dope, and you're going to want to have the Wheel Takes swag. You're going to want to get swaggy with it. So from all of us here at the Black Tower, to all of you out there, wherever you may be, we would like to thank you for tuning in. I have been Josh.
And this guy right here, I have been Andrew.
And I have been Daniel. And again, from all of us here at the Black Tower podcast, we hope that you are having a lovely morning, whatever morning it is for you, that you are getting everything that you hoped out of today. And in case we don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, good night.
And use protection.